Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Vinod Investments. Today we're going to talk about company American Airlines. I'll try to answer two questions today. If Warren Buffett was right to call out some of these airlines company will go down, that's one. Secondly, I will also update on my American Airlines portfolio, what changes I've made. So those two things will be discussed today. If you are new to my channel, my name is Vinod. I primarily invest in US as well as UK equities, and I manage a portfolio of around 600,000. If you want to look at all the transactions I make and new investments I make, please do subscribe to the channel so you get notification. Without any ado, we just quickly jump into look at what the stock is currently doing. So as you guys can see, the stock is trading around 11. I think when I made the previous video, I think it was trading around 12, going back 3 weeks now. The stock has not done much. I think it had a little bit smaller upper run and then it's flat currently. And again, quickly jump into what's my stock holdings with American Airlines. I think some of you are watching it the first time. So I've invested around 10,000 pounds with American Airlines overall. So I started accumulating from March, and then so far I have around 674 shares. As you guys can see, my overall gain loss is almost like £1,000 or $1,200 loss. But again, if you had watched my previous video, I did say that I think this is a recovery play. It completely depends on what's happening with pandemic and how people are confident to fly back. So that's the key driver for the company. I think to address the question of Warren Buffett calling out, probably when the pandemic start, like most of the airlines are gonna be hit badly, and we know that it was hit badly. Any airlines you take, they were down. So the lowest for American Airlines was around $8 in mid-March, April lows. So I think I did do a quick trade wherein I got in at 8 and I think I sold at like 23. So I'm sitting on like say probably 2,000 or 3,000 pounds cash profit from the previous trades I made. But then I realized that I know that the pandemic going to be there. The impact is going to be within 2020, and eventually they're going to start flying and people will go on holidays. They're going to use more airlines. So that way the company will benefit when the recovery happens. So that's the primary reason why I had invested. Although this may be a momentum play for now, depending on if everything goes well and then there's less guests in the world and people start traveling again, so you may see a quicker win. So that way, in my portfolio, I do have three kind of baskets. One is where you have hyper growth companies like Tesla and Virgin Galactic and Neo. And then you have something called as recovery and momentum play, which is American Airlines or cruise airlines. So these are the stocks which I have invested during March, April lows. And again, I do buy, sell in the meanwhile. So that's why I kind of say sometimes I'm a trader if I'm buying and selling, but sometimes I'm investor, because let's assume that this stock does not do much for the next 6 months. I would be still accumulating into the company. And then, overall, when it recovers well, the stock's going to go high. And then because of I would have accumulated so much during lower levels, you would get a better returns on a longer term. With regards to the question, is the company going down? I think it's driven by how's their quarterly revenues, how did they perform, as well as how much they have cash in the account. Let's quickly talk about the cash. I think for some of you would have seen news, or if not, they did raise a significant, I think around 2.5 billion or 3 billion amount last month. I think so it's 5 weeks ago. So they did raise cash. So they do have a short-term cash now, which they raised 3 billion by stock offering. So that was one means, as well as some bond sales, which they did raise around $1 billion. So they do have like 3.5-4 billion, which they raised from now. And then they did had some more cash from the previous year. If you go to finance and look at their balance sheet, if you see the total assets column, so yeah, they do have quite a lot of assets, but also like I think they have a 28 billion debt. So if you look at debt versus short-term cash, what they need, and they go through around 40 million or 50 million in loss every day. They don't fly to the fullest capacity. Okay, so the short-term answer for this particular stock, if you are invested on it, and again, keep an eye out on the coronavirus virus news in terms of how it's panning out in US. As you guys can see that I think for the last 2 weeks, I think even if you look at S&P 500, the market's not doing much. I think it's primarily, you can see that in other cases are going up and down. And again, and a daily average is around 60,000 new cases, which is not going down. I think to gain confidence for the market, I think the cases should come down anywhere less than 40,000 for all of those airlines as well as cruise line stock to do well. So this will be the primary news which will drive the stock higher. The other reason, probably we look at the quarterly earnings in a quick summary. So as you guys can see that I think the operating revenue is like 1.62 billion, which is down 86%. Net cap is also down, quite a lot of loss per each share. And they're kind of demonstrated in the operational statistics where, there are not many passengers flying, which means less revenue, and which has a direct impact on overall operating cost as well as revenues what they make. That way, just to summarize on the quarterly earnings, it's bad, and this was expected in my previous video. So a total loss of 2.65 billion for the last quarter. And so I think saying that I think worst can be over in the last quarter, because there was like literally no fly, and then they were like literally doing very limited flights. As you guys can see, they have like around 1,400 flights. So they need to operate most of them to make recover some of these losses as well as make money for the company. But again, this will all depend on how people are comfortable flying back, which will and also depends on the COVID cases across US. Those two will be the key driver. As I said, I think does the company may go bankrupt or go down? I think it is possible. Again, I said it in my previous video. There is always a risk when you play these recovery stocks, that the company, if they don't have sufficient cash, they have too much debt, and again, there is a risk of they going bankrupt. But saying that, I think the worst is over. That's why I'm invested in this company. And also, there is a chance that the COVID cases will come down. And again, as you see, most of the time, whenever there is a vaccine news, if it's from Moderna or any other company, there is the stock performs better. And if you can see that the stock is currently, kind of flat at 11. So there are two ways the stock can go, right? If there is less COVID cases and the vaccine positive news are there, the stock would make a higher rise. But again, if the COVID cases goes up, the stock may go back to its previous lows of 8. And it depends on your risk appetite and also what is your investment strategy. When it comes to my investment, as I said, I think probably I'm in this stock for probably a year and a half. So I would accumulate more at the like say lower levels if it goes down. But if it goes higher, I do have a significant investment in this as well as some of the cruise stocks. Saying that, so just to be, and again, not to put all your eggs in one basket, I did buy into Southwest Airlines, ticker LUV. As you guys can see that I bought around 2,500 pounds or $3,000 worth of LUV or Southwest Airlines. I think the primary reason I bought it, I think they had a better balance sheet compared to American Airlines. And this would just hedge my bets in terms of if, let's say, anything wrong to go with American Airlines, I didn't put all my money in one basket. And Warren Buffett is also invested in was invested in Southwest Airlines, and this has a better positive media coverage when it comes to American Airlines. I think if you watch CNBC, they kind of hammer American Airlines investor because it's a lower dollar stock, like $11-12, right? Where in Southwest it's a higher dollar stock. And also they kind of talk about our Robinhood investors or retail investors are not into into Southwest. So that way, out of all airline stock, I think Southwest is better placed. And again, the key reason why I invested in them is if you look at their previous quarterly results, I think they've always beaten it. I think even the Q2 it says missed, but I think it's a very slight margin, as you guys can see, like it's a slight margin which they missed it by. So and again, as you can see that I'm buying into airlines. So my thought is, again, it's a credit recovery play, and it's all depends on COVID cases as well as vaccine news. But again, if you're invested in it, so please do comment and give me your opinion for this video. And again, if you want to me to create more contents like this, please do subscribe for my channel. That way I share all the stocks I invest in, and also I will explain why and what's my thought process with regards to this investment. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Please do like and subscribe to support the channel. And again, wherever you are, be safe and take care. Bye-bye.